Today on the SouthCack Syndicate podcast, we're talking AI, artificial intelligence, and Kyle's going to give a rundown of his top picks for the best platforms to use AI on. So if you're just getting started dabbling in AI or you've been with it for a while, stay tuned.
Hey, this is Liz, and you're listening to the SouthCack Syndicate podcast.
Welcome, everybody. Jared here.
Kyle Voss. Welcome to the SouthCack Syndicate podcast.
It's been crazy. Wasn't here last week, but Brad filled in as a guest and sat in my seat. We're going to have a conversation about that part of it.
Well, we talked about on the podcast that you had a business meeting. And that we'd probably hear a lot from you when you got back. And actually, that's kind of what's really, I don't know, spawned this episode, but it's made it to where that's what we're doing this week. Yeah. Talking AI. You basically talked a lot of AI at the conference. We had talked about in previous podcasts that AI would make a great
subject matter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So here we are talking AI. First, hold on. Let me tell you about an email I got on the SouthCackPod@gmail.com email address. Y'all can email us if you have questions. Yeah, I won't put this out there too. You can also follow us if you're watching on YouTube. We also stream on all streaming platforms. If you're listening to us, you can watch us on YouTube. So go check us out. You can just search SouthCack podcast. You'll find us.
Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your daily dose of music.
iHeartRadio, all of them.
Yeah.
So got this email from a gentleman, and I'll change the names because I didn't ask him if I could talk about it. We'll call him Ken for this podcast.
Thanks.
Why is that funny?
Thanks, Ken.
So anyway, I don't know what's so funny, but anyway, so I got an email, and basically he was talking.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Go ahead. So Ken shot us an email, right? And we appreciate the feedback, Ken. But get into kind of what Ken was saying in the body.
Yeah, so he was just basically saying, hey, I've started several businesses. I have a hard time staying driven.
Yeah.
And in the response, I basically said, yeah, man, everybody has that problem. I don't care who you are, me, you, everybody has at some point kind of struggle with staying driven. You first start a business, you're gung-ho, then there's a slow period, and, you're like, is this going to work? And it's hard to stay driven in that. And simply what I told him was there's two things that I go by, and you can kind of give me, because you've never even heard me say this, you can kind of give me your thoughts on this, but there's two things that I kind of go by to stay driven when it comes to business, and that's purpose and passion. Mm-hmm. So if you stick to those two things and make sure that everything you do kind of falls in those two categories, you have the most likelihood of staying driven and creating a successful business. So let me kind of explain. Passion is something that you get up, you want to do it. You get to jump out of bed in the mornings and you want to go do it. It doesn't matter what it is, right? If you're passionate about it, you're going to want to do it. You're never going to want to slack off. Right. Luckily for me and you, I think, creation is our passion. Mm-hmm. We like to create businesses. I like to create cars. Creation, I like to create, websites, anything, right?
New
content.
Skills.
The whole YouTube channel is me creating content.
Yeah.
And so I really enjoy the creation of those things. That's my passion. And so I've kind of geared a lot of my businesses around that. I like the real estate side, the creation of the real estate, or even the, kind of, trying to create a portfolio or, whatnot. Sure. And then, so that's the passion side of it. And the purpose side of it is, why are you doing what you're doing? Is there a reason? Now, what I told him is sometimes, there's a lot of guys that only need one of those. Mm-hmm. Like you can do this on just passion or just purpose. Having both of those really makes it work well, though, right?
That's right.
Go
ahead.
On the purpose side, you got family, you got legacy.
It depends. The purpose will change person to person.
It will. Like for me, my purpose is to inspire. I feel like if I can inspire some people to get out there and do things.
Sure.
Obviously my family's purpose, legacy is some of that, but I think my immediate purpose is just to get somebody else to kind of wake up and go create, find their passion. Mm-hmm. Right. So anyway,
the number one reason people can't get out of bed in the morning? Like, especially on the entrepreneur side, not that they have a clock to punch or anything like that.
Comfortable mattress?
No, it is because they don't see anything exciting happening in their day. They already know what their day is going to be, and they're not going to put feet on the ground and start their day because they know it's just going to be another boring day. Yeah. Well, don't make it a boring day. Like, that's right. Change it up. Well, don't be like, I'm a creature of habit. Totally a creature of habit. If I get something that I like at a restaurant, I'm going to go back and I'm going to get the same thing over and over and over.
I'm kind of the same way, but you also, what me and you do is we find things that bring things into our lives that we didn't know was going to happen. That's right. This podcast is a prime example of that.
Sure.
Every Thursday, we have no idea what's going to come out of this. You know, sometimes we know the guest, but we don't know.
Sometimes we don't even know that.
We don't know what we're going to talk about. Right. We don't know who they're going to be able to put us in touch with.
That's right.
We don't know. There's all kinds of opportunities that just open up themselves to us in a span of 2 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
like, if I know I'm going fly fishing, it's early morning, I'm up before I'm supposed to be because I know I'm going to go on an adventure.
Yeah.
Right. If I know that I don't have much to do one day or it's going to be the same thing I did, man, I'm going to be slow to start moving. And once I get up and start rolling, we're good to go. But like, change it up. Like, even if it's not going to slow your business down. It's not going to slow your idea thinking down. If anything, it'll add clarity to what you're going to do. Right. Change it up.
There you go. Quick nugget from us: purpose and passion.
And get up.
Find your P's. Mind your Q's.
Whatever.
Whatever that is.
A, B, C.
So anyway, thanks, Ken, for the email. If you want to email us.
Yeah, Ken. Appreciate that.
At southcackpod@gmail.com. You can get us there. We'll be happy to answer questions. And I don't know, maybe we'll even get you on the podcast.
And Ken, keep us posted. Let us know what you're up to in the next 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so, being held accountable is also a plus. But
yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we're talking AI today. We're not talking Chat GPT necessarily, because I'm sure that if you've heard anything about AI, I would think that's probably the one thing you've heard about.
Well, AI has been around a lot longer than everybody realizes it.
True that.
You've been using AI since Google was around and you typed in something in a search bar.
Yeah, because the algorithm itself is AI.
That's exactly right.
It's self-learning.
Mm-hmm. Businesses use it today and you don't even know it. If you're on for example, if you're on a car dealership and you're looking for a car, there's a little girl that pops up and says, "Hey, my name is Jennifer. How can I help you today?"
Yeah, but is that AI or is that pre-programmed?
It depends on the company, right?
Yeah.
But there's not, whoever Jennifer is not sitting on the other end typing it out.
No, but I think of AI as like Jennifer is going to give you different answers even if you ask the same questions. Because she's going to learn over time on her own.
Maybe.
Versus
it's still AI.
That is AI. But if Jennifer is pre-programmed to say X when you ask Y every time, and she never learns anything unless it's reprogrammed, then that's not AI, my personal opinion.
I don't think that companies should use Jennifer or a human for a chatbot in the first place, because AI is not human and it's not perfect and it does make mistakes. And sometimes it gives you humanistic answers and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Right. So what we have to understand about that technology is it's not 100%. Like,
for sure.
Always fact check anything to begin with.
Not only that, you're leaving your most important asset, your customers, to something that you don't even know what it's telling them. And it's unpersonable. Like, your customers should be number one priority. If you're going to use AI, use it everywhere else.
That's right.
But have somebody there. That's why I've never understood why a lot of customer service went out overseas, because it made it so awful. You agree?
Hello, my name is Bob Boo Butter.
Yeah.
Your name is Bob Baloo Boo. But your name, I'm from New Jersey. No, you're not.
I mean, my thing with that too is fine if it's out of the country, but it's hard for them to relate to you in your circumstances in a different place, a different, time zone. Everybody's dealing with different things. It's different than like if you got some guy, you're calling AT&T because your phone don't work. And the guy that answers, it's like, "Oh yeah, y'all just had a winter storm down there." I get why,
Yeah.
But if they're out of the country, they have no clue what just happened.
None.
In the area.
That's right.
So, all right. So tell me about your trip a little bit. Let's kind of start there.
Hung out in Tampa for a couple days and for a software meeting, and one of the keynotes talked a good bit about AI. His name's Dave Carruthers. Shout out Dave. We grabbed dinner and an old fashioned afterwards and did a deep dive. And it was just mind blowing. I invited him on the podcast. He's from the UK. He is golfing there this week, but has preliminary accepted our invitation. And so we'll fly him in probably this fall.
We're good.
We're good.
Thanks, Liz.
So Dave was a wealth of knowledge on the subject. And
so can you talk about what the software, what you were actually there for, and then kind of branched out into the AI?
No, we'll probably not. We'll probably leave that sidebar and just use some of the AI keynote out of that conference for this podcast.
Okay. So give me something that knocked your socks off. You got any?
AI betters itself 1% every day.
So 100 days, it's 100% better than it was.
Which isn't that scary until you say every 100 days, it's 100% better than it was 100 days ago.
Yeah.
Every 100 days, it's 100 days better, so which just blows me away, right? That's a big deal.
The thing is, it's going to get faster too. So, the first 100 days, it might be 100% better, but then each day it may get 1.1%.
Oh, sure.
Better. It's going to be
after that 100, then it may be 2% better. And then
exactly. It's going to get fast. And
that's right.
So what's your thoughts as far as like, a lot of people are scared of this.
Well, I think we need to put it into context because what I did learn is there's so much AI for the chatbot, AI for this, AI big picture, AI for companies that employ 3,000 people.
Yeah.
I think, what's the group? The World Economic Forum.
Yeah.
I mean, they said it's going to create 133 million jobs, and I think that was a ploy to fund AI is what I think.
I do think, a lot of people are scared of
I think
AI.
it's job creation, but it's going to eliminate a lot of the other stuff.
They think, a lot of people are like, it's going to take everybody's job. This is how I kind of look at the situation. Obviously, I don't know. I think it's going to create more jobs than it takes.
It depends on the industry.
Well, I'll give you a prime example of this. So you think about the internet. A lot of people were like, the internet's coming. It's going to take jobs. And it did. I mean, it shut down small businesses. Amazon took over and, it did a lot of that kind of stuff. But if you think about the internet as a whole, before it was there at all, think about the jobs it was created, not just with like the Amazons and whatever. Think about the guys that are laying fiber.
That's right.
Think of the guys that are putting up towers. Think about the guys that are building websites, marketing. You could coding there's so many jobs that were created just to sustain the internet itself, over and above, like what Amazon took away from this. Right. It made it more efficient.
Well, AI now writes its own code.
Yeah.
Right. You don't even have to know how to code anymore. You can type it in. I need a code to make my Raspberry Pi blink my Christmas tree lights.
Yep.
And 3 seconds, and there's your code.
I want it to blink to
Metallica's. It's for me, it's 90% useful, 10% huge, scares me to death.
Well, I think it's going to make everybody more efficient. Even the coders, right? So like this, because obviously it's not going to be able to do all the code because you're not going to be able to tell it.
No, and you always gotta check it.
The little things you need. Like it works to make your Christmas tree blink lights.
Yeah.
But how are you going to tell it? Okay, I need you to write in this code. I need a search box in this specific place on my website, blah, blah, blah.
Or it's not going to make the Raspberry Pi for you that you need to make the Christmas tree lights, right? There's still going to be a human element. One of the examples that was given was in the next 6 months, probably not in your rural communities, but you'll be able to type in on a program, hey, I'm having beef Wellington tonight for 6 of my guests. They'll be here at 9 p.m. What do I do? And boom, it'll say, here's your recipe for beef Wellington. Not only here's your recipe, we're going to ship all the ingredients to you. You'll have them within 2 hours before your guests arrive, which is just enough time for it to come out of the oven as soon as they walk out or walk in the door.
Alexa could almost do that now.
Yeah.
Almost. Very close.
Is Alexa AI?
I think this Alexa is self-learning for sure. Now, I don't know if that's based on updated code that they're giving it or if it's automatically learning.
Sure.
I mean, it probably definitely learns you right? It's an algorithm that's automatically learning what you like, feeding you stuff, telling you things.
Sure.
Let's talk about some sites. I got a bunch of sites wrote down here, and I'm going to talk about like what these sites do. So obviously, we talked about ChatGPT in the past, and the fact that you can put in there, write a country song that has Jared who lives on the mountain, you know, and it'll kind of spit it out. Or I've used it for blogs. It'll write blog posts for me. These are a little bit different. Now, some of these, what's interesting is some of these sites work on top of OpenAI, which is the company that has ChatGPT.
Right.
So they basically use that technology, they mix it up, and then it spits out their own version of what they're looking for.
Right.
So, there's a bunch. We'll start off with
ChatGPT.
Well, I just explained ChatGPT.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've used it to, you know, write a blog post about X, and it will write you a blog post about X, and then you can post that. Or we use
that. We use that for some of our businesses today. And it write me an article about this. But
we did it. I don't know if you guys seen it, but with the Bud Light episode we did, we actually said, Jared right here live on the podcast said, hey, write me a marketing. How'd you word it? Something. Write me a good marketing.
One of the things that somebody did last week and at the conference was explain ChatGPT like I'm a 6-year-old. And you can literally put that in. So ChatGPT understands, okay, I really need to dumb down my information. And here's what they came up with. Explain ChatGPT like I'm 6. ChatGPT is a robot friend that can answer your questions and have conversations with you. Think of it like a magic box that knows a lot about many things like animals, toys, and stories.
Yeah. We also talked about the way that ChatGPT works is very much like Google works. So right now you put in you go on Google and you say, oop.
Yeah, you say, oop.
Party foul.
Go ahead.
You go on Google and you put in places to buy steak near me. What Google does is it basically goes through its algorithm and it's going to spit out a bunch of websites that will tell you where to buy steak near you. So it's basically combing the internet and feeding you websites. ChatGPT does very similar, because if you typed in the exact same thing with ChatGPT, what it's going to do is it's going to comb all of those websites, all the verbiage on those websites, and then it's going to actually spit out what those websites had typed in there. Now, some of those websites that it gave you could be like a review blog of local cuisine, and it's going to aggregate those, words that were in those reviews, and then spit out what it feels like is the most valuable thing to you, and it's going to give it to you in text form versus a website. Kind of works the same way though. All right, so let's move on. Let's see. Okay, Firefly's AI is a AI based website that I think works off of OpenAI, and it takes notes for you. So I think it's a plug-in. You plug this thing into Zoom or whatever kind of GoToMeeting, whatever it is you want to do. It kind of takes the whole meeting, take all the notes for you, and at the end, it'll also give you it'll summarize the meeting for you. Mm-hmm. So it does all the stuff based on AI. You don't have to write down stuff. You don't have to record it. Mm-hmm. When it's done, it spits it all out for you. And in the end, you have what you need. And that's Firefly's AI. Y'all can search that if you want to. If you feel like that's useful. Me and Jerry don't take notes, so we don't even prepare for the podcast, let alone take notes.
No. Although you did today. That's good.
Well, there's no way I could recall all these.
Sure.
I wish I had a pen to check these off. You got something? You got something else from the conference?
No, carry on.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Snack prompt. Okay. This site will actually list the best prompts for you to use within ChatGPT. So, ChatGPT is kind of hit or miss based on what you feed it. This website will actually tell you the best prompts to use if you're going to use a AI-based, a ChatGPT It'll actually, so you go to this website first, you kind of tell it what you're looking for, then it's going to spit out the most efficient prompts to use within ChatGPT so you get the best results.
So snack prompt.
SNACK, SNACK prompt, which is interesting because I've used ChatGPT a bunch. Matter of fact, I recently used it to buy lottery tickets. Did I tell you about that?
No. Oh, no. You let it pick your numbers?
Well, what I did is I said, what are the odds? What numbers have the best odds of being picked for Powerball, for instance? And it came back with this really politically correct answer, like it's always random, and you shouldn't use AI to try to do blah 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 whatever. It said, but these are the numbers that have been used the most. And it started off from the top, and it had like 26 has been drawn 385 times, and then it was like 14 has been drawn 299 times. You know, like, and it went all the way down. It gave me a list of like 25 numbers and how many times those numbers have been drawn. So I was like, all right. So I just picked top 6, and I was like, those are my numbers.
Did you win?
No.
Did any of them?
Oh yeah, I think the last one I did, I think I got one number. But
that's awesome.
Anyway, my thing is like you can literally use it for anything you want.
Yeah.
If you can feed it the right information.
Yeah. So when we were in school, we had Cliff Notes. And even those were taboo back then, right? Now, ChatGPT, you can write a whole essay. So one of the things was ChatGPT just passed the MBA exam. ChatGPT beats 90% of lawyers trying to pass the bar.
Yeah, I knew it passed the bar exam.
In like 15 seconds.
Yep.
But it only has memory capacity
2001.
September 21st of 21.
That's the last, yeah. Anything more recent than that
That's right.
doesn't know.
Yeah.
So like those numbers, for instance, are
That's right.
2021.
Which is weird. And then Elon Musk got out and then started his own. So
let's see. There is one. What did I see in Perplexity.ai is like ChatGPT, except for it is to date. And it also offers you sources too. Mm-hmm. So for instance, if you put in there, what's the best steak in town? It's going to be to date. Mm-hmm. And it's also going to say, you know, it's going to tell you the best steak in town is this restaurant, blah, blah, blah. And then it's going to list the sources of where it found that. So it found it from Oconee Hospitality and blah, 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 and wherever. So it'll actually give you the sources of where it found it as well.
It seems like more like a Google drop than it does AI.
It is, but like I said, Google doesn't feed you, it doesn't tell you what's the best place. It gives you a bunch of websites that talk about the best steak, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas this one actually tells you what it has found out there for you and then kind of feeds it to you.
Microsoft just dropped $10 billion with a B investment into AI.
Yep.
I don't think Google's dropped $10 billion in investments.
Well, Google has their own.
What? Yeah.
So I think Microsoft was kind of behind the 8 ball and was like, we got to buy something.
Oh, you got to do something, right? So we went through a demo of their Excel program called Copilot. Cool. If you're a Microsoft user and you have Excel, I don't know if it's an add-on or what, but it's called Copilot. So you got all your data in your spreadsheet. Then you got like your toolbar that you would go to anyway. Then you type in and it's like, how do I make this data a relevant budget for tourism in Oconee County, spending by blah, 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 blah. And then it's just like
AI
sorts all your data, gives it great visual aids, accurate, accurate as good as the data that you entered in it.
Right.
But AI takes all your data and makes it beautiful.
Yeah.
And telling the story.
You get out what you put in.
Telling the story is the most important part about data.
That's funny that you say that because I've actually got one on here that will do. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
While you're looking for that,
let's see.
Let me give you an idea of how long it took top apps to hit 100 million monthly users.
Okay.
How long did it take Instagram to hit 100 million monthly users?
Oh, you're getting ready to talk about social, what do they call this?
No, that's just fun fact.
I know, but there's a spinoff that we can talk about with this too. There's a name for that. But anyway, let's see.
100 million monthly users for Instagram. How many months?
I'm going to say a year.
30 months.
Okay, so it's almost 3 years.
Two and a little bit, yeah. Google Translate, which is the lowest on my list, 78 months. Spotify, 55 months. Uber, 100 million users, 70 months. TikTok, 9 months.
9 months. So there's a word for this. It's called network effects.
ChatGPT, 2 months.
Yeah.
100 million users.
And it would have been faster than that, except for they couldn't handle the...
Not only that, this data is more than a month old.
Yeah.
So they certainly, it only took 2 months to get them to 100 million, but they're probably 10 billion users by now.
Yeah.
But some of the people that are listening to this today have never heard of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And it won't be long before they're using it themselves because they're using it. They don't know it, but they'll be able to identify what it is and have them help. AI will help you in your daily.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's
you'll have a personal assistant for long on your phone.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are a Siri.
Yeah, but she's not.
No, but it gives you the concept.
If you say right now, if you say, Siri, schedule a meeting for blah, 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 wherever with so-and-so, she's just going to do it. Okay. Say you said, hey, Siri, schedule a meeting with Kyle on the 4th, at the lofts, whatever. She's just going to do it. She's just going to put it in your calendar. AI is going to be like, yes, Jared, I can make that happen. Kyle likes bourbon. Would you like for me to order you some bourbon? She's going to, the AI is going to know and offer up new things and learn and, or even for your, I don't know, they're just going to think about extra things.
Sure.
Like the weather's going to be this. Would you like to do that? Would you like to reschedule because, what's going to happen is you're going to be like, Siri, schedule a meeting with Kyle on the 4th at the lofts, blah, blah, blah. At some point, your assistant will be able to talk to my assistant.
Oh, sure.
And your assistant's going to be like, well, he has something scheduled at 4. Can we make it 5?
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, save me so much time. God, but what if I don't want to take the meeting? Then my AI goes, yeah, but Jared doesn't really like Kyle, so we're going to shorten the time frame to 2 minutes.
Yeah, and what'll happen is it'll cut out a bunch of the grunt work. Like I'll get a thing from my assistant that says, Jared wants to schedule a meeting on X. I seen that it was open for you. Would you like to take this? And then, you just hit accept or whatever.
Oh, sure. I'm hoping that school districts will adapt AI and not block it and lock it,
They're not going to have a choice. I mean, it may be delayed, which may not be good for us.
Depending on where you are in the world. Absolutely. I mean, I think it'd scare most educators before it. I mean, remember the first computer came out, it was the size of this room. People were like, oh my gosh, it's 1984. It's the end of the world.
I think AI is going to be very similar to crypto, where a lot of people aren't going to know it's even happening.
Yeah, but there's not a risk with using AI. There's a risk with throwing your life savings at crypto.
No, that's not even what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about and I say crypto is probably the wrong word, blockchain. Blockchain and AI are going to be very similar, where people aren't even going to know it's happening in the background. For instance,
has overshot blockchain by miles already, because I guarantee there's not 100 million users of blockchain technology. No way.
Over 100 million blocks, and that's the same thing.
No, it's not.
It is too.
I got a car lot with 100 million cars on it. I don't have 100 million cars on the road.
No, but what you're saying is you're talking queries. You're talking money versus queries, which is not.
No, I'm talking blockchain, not digital currency. Just the technology.
No, but hold on. When you say cryptocurrency, that's like comparing 100 million active users to 100 million accounts. It's different. Okay. In order to have a good comparison of that is you have to say transactions, blockchain transactions versus AI transactions. That's a more apples to apples. No, not even close.
Right.
Not even close. Crypto is way above AI as far as transactions go.
Keep going.
Guaranteed. You just look how many. Anyway, we'll move on. So the next one. Opus clip. Now, this is one that Jared turned me on to.
It's my favorite.
I think you got this from the conference, right?
Yeah. I got it from a guy drinking an old fashioned, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So Opus clip is for you guys that create content out there. Basically, you can just plug in a YouTube video of your own, obviously, most likely. And it's going to take that YouTube video. So for instance, this podcast, I can plug in the YouTube video for this podcast. It is going to go through and follow people and take that image and make it a vertical image to then make a reel or a short with. Add text that is pretty good. You can kind of go in there and clean it up if you need to, but it's pretty good right off the bat. And basically create these shorts that are like a minute long. You can put in one video. It's going to create 15 of them. 3 or 4 of them might be good. And you can then post those to social and you actually didn't have to do anything.
Yeah. And I think if you follow us on Instagram, you can see some of the Opus work.
Yeah. We got them on YouTube as shorts too.
Yeah. Perfect.
So,
Your favorite?
What's next? Let's see. We did perplexity. Oh, stalking AI. So this is a little bit different. Stalking, I think it's .ai, but you can just search stalking AI. If you've ever used stock images off the web, for those that don't know, if you want an image of a bridge or whatever, a place, somebody on the beach, if you just need an image to use in a post or whatever, you can actually go to these websites and they'll sell you the rights to that image. They're all professionally taken. You don't have to take them yourself. And then depending on what license you buy with that, you can use it in marketing. You can use it as brands. You know, like if Jared with SouthCack, the SouthCack apparel company, wants to have a picture of some girl on the beach looking at the sunset, he can go grab one that somebody took that's a very nice picture and then use it for his marketing or commercials or whatever.
I'd also say go to midjourney.com. MID Journey.
Same deal, stock images?
Not stock images. They're all brand new images, but this is, I want to warn you about what stalking AI and Midjourney are doing is it's allowing influencers and small towns to even create. So if I wanted to say, Midjourney, create me a picture of downtown Walhalla that looks like Coachella Music Festival is happening in the center of town. Within 15 seconds, I've got 4 pictures of Main Street Walhalla with, 300,000 people raving with lights. And you would swear that
It was real.
happened.
Yeah. So that's what stalking AI is. Basically, it's going to generate you images that you, now some of them are going to be really
You
good.
think up.
Yeah.
The problem with that is
It was never a real image.
people are using it to describe certain places. And if you've ever seen something that's just, there's no way, it's probably not.
Yeah.
It's probably AI.
I'll tell you where this is going to go bad.
We need to put that on our shirt. There's no way. It's not. It's AI.
Yeah.
But they're getting in trouble because it's false advertising.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you where this is going to go bad because I could be like, stalking AI, create me an image of Jared with another woman. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Like, they're going to stuff with presidents and
right.
political figures and like all, it's going to go bad. Like where you can create these.
So we have to monitor it. And I think there are companies out there planting very, very, very small bots into these images to where the larger corporations click on it and go, nope.
That's not real.
Attorneys click on it and go, nope.
Well, and they are working on it.
Public can go click on it and go, that never happened.
Yeah, they're fixing it because, they're already talking about watermarks and, Google wants to basically know if an article was written by a person or if it was done by AI. So they want to they want to know the difference. Or a website is created by a person or by
teachers to students should have that same limitation, right?
Yeah.
They should, or not limitation, that same monitorization. Right?
Yep.
Somebody's got to monitor the monitor.
That's right. That's
They
right.
have to, or that's where we find ourselves in trouble with the next. I mean, we're not talking 10 years, 2 years.
Yeah.
Less.
Well, and the thing is too, that's a business opportunity for a lot of up and coming startups, right? If you want to be, it's almost like the web security, but for AI. Like, McAfee was web security or whatever for computers. There'll be companies like McAfee that all they do is basically decipher whether it was AI or not, right? And they'll have, all the technology. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Actually, you know what? Let's take a break.
Great.
I've got about 5 more of these. You guys want to hear them? I'll kind of give you the notes when we get back.
We're right back.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. When it comes to your auto and home insurance needs, make things simple and trust your Allstate experts. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your auto and home. Bundling saves money, sure, but it also saves you time. So you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact Clemson Allstate agent Shane Smith at 864-654-1047 today for a free personalized insurance proposal. Allstate, are you in good hands?
And we're back talking a little bit of a lot of AI and ChatGPT and some of Kyle's favorite artificial intelligence go-to sites. So we left before break. You knocked out 4 or 5 of those.
Yeah. In full disclosure, I haven't used all of these. So I don't, you say favorite. I think they're all very interesting. I haven't actually used all of these. I've used some of them though. And the ones I have used work so well that it's a little bit scary. So, all right. So back to what we were talking about. You had mentioned earlier, coding. You could use AI to code. Well, there is a TOME.app.
T as in Tom.
T as in Tom, OME. Tome, is that what you pronounce that, I guess?
Tome. TOME.
Yep. .app.
.app.
And this will create a presentation for you. 100% start to finish, slides.
You're just entering all the data and it just boom.
Yep. It'll do it'll create a website for you if that's what you
cool.
want. It'll basically do anything you need. You just enter the data, enter what you're kind of looking for, it kind of configures it all, and it'll spit out a presentation, whether that's going to be, like a deck style presentation, PowerPoint, whatever. Or if you just want it to be like a website type of deal, it'll kind of spit that out for you too, which I think is pretty interesting. I mean, like I said, it's going to make everybody a lot more productive. I mean, how much time has people spent trying to create a presentation and it's not worth any money? Like you're just wasting time. I mean, I guess if you sell people on the idea, then it's worth it. But
I tell you, AI is going to keep a lot of lazy people's jobs.
It's going to make people look good.
You're doggone right.
Yeah.
Did you know this is a true statistic, 38% of doctors use AI for diagnosing health problems?
They put in
your problem.
Sore throat, blah, blah, whatever.
Now, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I can see that. All right. So Chatbase, my next one, Chat, BASE, Chatbase. So this is basically like if you want to look super fancy, okay, if you want SouthCack.com to have their own AI.
Don't give secrets here.
You can go to Chatbase and you can basically get the code. You plug this into your website and it's going to be your own AI on your website. People can go in there, put in stuff. It's going to aggregate whatever's on the site. It's going to spit out all kinds of information. It's almost like having ChatGPT, but on your site. This also works for PDFs. So you can plug this into a PDF. I send you a PDF and you have a question about it. You could actually use AI within that PDF. So, all right, what else we got? Trip Notes.
Ooh, tell me about Trip Notes.
Trip Notes is the next one. This one will plan your travel in 5 seconds. Everything.
Yeah. So we did a demo of that last week in Tampa. It was we're going to Tampa for 3 days. I've got 4 kids from the ages of 4 to 19, and I need the most exciting adventures we can go on. It's like boom.
Yep.
Your 4-year-old's going to love boom, 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 15, boom, boom, boom. And for the mom and dads, you're going to go here. Make sure the kids are out by 10 at this location because they don't allow kids when the music starts. I mean, we're not talking a long time. We're talking seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, and it'll plan it all out. This one talks about like you could put in there what you like to eat, and it'll tell you where to go. And then I think at the end you can basically just say, book it.
Well, you have to figure out like one thing. This is very important. The more information you put in, the better results you're going to get out.
Yeah.
In all platforms, in all AI platforms, you got to put it in.
You know what's going to happen is we were talking about Siri earlier. What's going to happen is these companies, instead of reinventing the wheel, they're just going to say, Google, Apple, whoever it is, they're going to say, hey, you know what? Our Siri, our Google app, or whatever it is, your personal assistant is just going to go out and use all these sites.
Of course.
So when you ask them to, hey, I need a reservation here. I'm going to be there. I like to eat this. Find me a restaurant. Give me a reservation for 3, blah, blah, blah. So they're going to go to Trip Notes, and that your assistant's going to do it through Trip Notes. Or if the same assistant, if you're like, hey, I need you to write me a presentation for X, blah, blah, blah. These are things I need that are important in that presentation. It's going to go to a different one and find, it's going to almost be layered on top of all these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lazy songwriter's been using it for years. That's how we end up with songs like "Make Me Want to Roll My Windows Down and Cruise."
Don't start.
It's just terrible. Only a computer.
It only sold like 5 trillion out. Whatever.
What does that say about society?
Well, you can say what you want, but hey, we talk about it all the time.
That's right.
The market decides, right?
No, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. But it will become an issue for the Writers Guild. It will be questions.
You're right.
That get brought up to school boards. It will be talked about at corporate board meetings.
You're right.
This will not go away.
Now, let me ask you this though, and this is just between you and I, and obviously
and the rest of the world.
Well, but I don't necessarily have an opinion on it. But
Sure.
Let me ask you this: if AI can write a better song than any human, connects better, people like to dance to it more, they want to buy it, they want whatever, doesn't matter.
I mean, I think we're already there.
Right. But I mean, like on your personal opinion, like you're kind of like,
I mean, that happened in 2004 when the iPhone came out. Think about this. 90s was the last generation when stuff happened.
Yeah. I wonder if we could be like,
there was no more pop culture after the 90s because everybody started paying attention to this. I mean, it ended in the early 2000s. Instantly.
Yeah.
Instantly. So we don't dress like the artist anymore. Music doesn't influence, our day to day like it used to. I mean,
what's crazy? You know what's crazy about that is I think you're right.
That is crazy.
But hold on.
It's astronomically crazy.
I think you're right.
You think I'm right?
I think you're right all the time, or most of the time.
Sure.
I think, you talk about pop culture, and back then, if you were a Guns N' Roses fan, you were a Guns N' Roses fan 24/7,
You doggone
365.
right. Wore the jacket.
Every day.
That's right.
Like if you were a Michael Jackson fan, you had the zippers on all the
right.
time.
Yeah.
Like it didn't matter. Like I think our daily lives now are still the same, but it mimics more along the lines what we get from social. And what I'm talking about is, we had talked about a couple podcasts back about you get interested with social media, you get interested in things you didn't know you would be interested in.
Fair enough.
So is that the case now? But kind of like your feed, for instance, I'll give you like your feed. If I had to guess, your feed for your Instagram is like fishing, flying, real estate. It's like your feed is way different.
That's right.
And so is your life. And when it's time to go fishing, guess what? You're Mr. Fisher guy. When it's time to do real estate, you're Mr. Real Estate guy.
Yeah, I'm a chameleon.
Yeah, well, that's the point I'm trying to make. Like used to, if back in the Guns N' Roses days,
You were only a Guns N' Roses
you were
guy.
only Guns N' Roses all the time.
Or Metallica.
Whatever,
Yeah,
you name it.
Yeah.
You were that guy all the time.
You were a rock and roller, or you were a
Depeche Mode
rapper,
yes,
or you were whatever. That's right.
And if you were athletic, that was you all the time.
That's right.
Well, now that you've kind of broadened that horizon to where, your feed changes how you are, and then you're a chameleon on what now you have like 4 interests versus the one.
Oh, I know. That's why I don't put much on Facebook, right? Because it's just so far apart from day to day of what's going on. It's like I'm not just a real estate guy.
Yeah.
I'm not just a pilot. I'm not just a fly fisherman.
Yeah.
Like I'm a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
You think there's a time where AI
is never going to hold a fly rod. I know that.
it might help where you fish though?
Come on. It better not.
What to use, time of year.
No, that's bad. Get out there and figure it out yourself, kids.
See, here comes Grandpa.
I already hate
it. Comes Grandpa Ketterman coming out.
No, get out of my way, you techies. You techie millennial Florida Georgia Line fans. Get out of here.
So you're so adverse to like newness.
I'm all over AI though.
All right, let's see what else I got on this list. I think I'm getting close to the end. Oh, okay, we'll say that one for last. Make sure I hit everything else. Snack prompt, trip notes. I'm gonna have to try that trip notes and see. thing that's cool about that is like it'll get you out of your element.
Yeah,
Because me, if I'm planning a trip,
oh yeah,
I'm gonna plan it.
That's right.
Based on the things I always do.
They're welding shop down here.
Nah, when I'm on vacation, I don't weld, but you know what I'm saying. I kind of stick to the.
And if anybody's using some of this, email us.
Or if you know
show us,
or if you know any really great ones outside
that we hadn't
of this,
mentioned, comment on the Instagrams or shoot us an email. Let us know
wherever you're listening. All right, the last one. This one's gonna be a little bit controversial. It's called God mode.
Yeah, no way.
So, you can give this one a task, and it'll complete it A to Z. So you can say, give me a market analysis for blah, 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 blah. It'll basically give you a complete market analysis for whatever you're looking at. It could be real estate, it could be stock market, it could be anything you want. It'll summarize web pages. So you can go and put in a web page and say, hey, summarize this whole page for me. And it'll go through the whole page and give you a summary at the end, like one, paragraph. You can basically know what the whole web page is about.
Sure.
Basically does a job for you. It'll do anything you want it. You'd put it in there. I don't know how I feel about the name of it, but
you know what Fast and Furious was that, where they had God's eye, and it was the software program that linked every single camera from traffic lights to cell phones to. I mean, I get the play on the word. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. This does everything. Yeah. AI will not save your soul, folks, but it may get that report done pretty quick.
That's right. I mean, you could ask it what you need to do to save your soul, and it might tell you.
Oh yeah. I think the biggest takeaway that I want people to know is don't be scared of tech, because it's not going away. Yeah. I'd rather you do your own research and dig into it and find a way for it to help you in your life than be against it, because you're against a machine. Yeah. And it's just not going to happen. This is only going to grow exponentially, compounding daily, hourly, minutely.
Well, and like you said, this is not really new.
Every minute.
It's not really new.
It's not.
It's been around a long time.
It sure is a damn hot topic right now.
It's new in the form that it's new to the public. So I think ChatGPT, what it did was brought it to the users like me and you. Yeah. Google, everybody else kind of held that stuff tight to the vest and used it for their own uses. They didn't release it to the.
Well, now they're investing $10 billion to catch up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So even the big companies, they're not messing around with this.
Yep.
So embrace it. Tell your schools to teach it.
Yeah, you got to figure it out. I mean, it's just going to be like everything else.
We need to start an AI company.
You know what's crazy? Everything we talk about, we're like, man, we need to start an AI. Where's the opportunity in this?
Well, you can certainly monetize it.
We need to start a AI NFT cattle company.
We'll top it in to ChatGPT after this podcast to figure out what the next steps are.
What's the biggest opportunity in AI NFTs? See what it spits out.
Oh my gosh. That'd be fun.
In the cattle industry.
It'd be fun. If you've got any good ideas that you want us to try, let us know. Just make sure that you don't believe everything you see on the interweb.
Yeah, or even on this podcast.
No, I mean, believe the podcast. Well, some of it.
Yeah.
But just fact check, do your own research, enjoy the tech, find the tech, use the tech, know the tech.
That's right. Embrace it. Use it to your advantage.
All right, guys, we've enjoyed it. This has been a good episode on AI. We'll bring Dave in a couple months and really do a deep dive. He'll peel AI back like an onion, layer by layer, of how it got started to where he sees it going in the next 6 months to 3 years.
Right on. That'd be cool.
All right. Good day, guys.
Hey, one last thing. Purpose and passion.
Get out of bed.
That's right.
Get it done.
See y'all.